Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome. My name is Christina and on my channel we talk all things beauty from my own experiences. So if you guys are looking for the best and most honest how-tos and reviews from a consumer's perspective, then make sure you subscribe to my channel, like this video, as well as leave any comments that you have for me down below. Before we get started, I wanted to give a huge shout out to today's sponsor, Look Fantastic. And Look Fantastic is an online retailer. They're the #1 beauty destination in Europe, and they have all things beauty, hair care, skincare, pretty much everything that we can get here in the US as well. And I do want to note that they are not paying me for this video. However, I will have a discount code in the description for you guys, so make sure you check that out if you want to get 25% off of the brand that we're talking about today, which is Estee Lauder. As you guys can tell by the title of this video, we're going to be talking all about Estee Lauder's newest foundation launch, which is the Estee Lauder Double Wear Sheer Longwear Makeup. This is the counterpart to the Estee Lauder Double Wear Stay All Day, Stay in Place foundation. The Holy Grail. This foundation has a cult following. You guys know, if you followed me for a long time, you know that I used to use this all the time. So we're all well aware that in the last 2 years or so, foundation has shifted in coverage, in how people like to wear it, and how people like it to look on their skin. And typically everyone is going for the more natural finish foundations, anything that just kind of perfects the skin versus covers up the skin. And I'm here for it. I'm all for the natural look. I love to take care of my skin, first of all, so whenever I wear a foundation, I kind of just want something that complements my skin. So this seemed like the perfect new foundation to try out for you guys. So I just wanted to test it out. I haven't watched any reviews or anything like that because I just wanted to come out of the gate with my opinions without any biases or anything like that. I actually picked up a bunch of other Estee Lauder products because I wanted to kind of test them out and compare all of them. So obviously I have the Sheer Wear here, and then we have the Stay in Place, which is the original Double Wear foundation. I also bought the Double Wear Concealer, which I've never tried and I'm really excited to try out. And then on days where I literally don't want to do a full face, I bought the Futurist Hydra Rescue moisturizing makeup. So I'm pretty sure this is like a tinted moisturizer, and it has SPF 45. So the shades of all of these are kind of weird. I was kind of going all over the spectrum. I will put in the description exactly which shades I have for you guys, and I'll link all of them as well so you have that. But anyways, I'm going to be putting this on today and showing you guys how it applies, how it looks on my skin, how it settles on my skin, and all of that information. And I'll also be giving you guys all the specs. So if you're interested in that, I will put the chapters, and just keep on watching. I am kind of in sort of a new setup. I've moved to a bigger room in my house, so it's really great as a studio space. However, I haven't really done anything fancy with it yet, and I have my computer directly over here, so I'm going to be reading off some of the specs for you guys on the Sheer Wear foundation. So to start off, the shade that I have is 3N2 Wheat. This foundation is a weightless, fresh feeling matte makeup, lasts 12 hours. There are 26 shades available, and it's supposed to be sweat and humidity resistant, no caking or streaking. It's for all skin types, and it's not supposed to break you out or clog your pores. It's dermatologist tested and ophthalmologist tested as well. The bottle is pretty small and compact. I kind of like how small it is, and this is going to be a 1 fluid ounce tube. Okay, so I just want to show you guys the consistency of this foundation to start off. I'm just going to put it right here on the back of my hand so you guys can see it, and you can see right there it's kind of just coming straight out, and it's going down the back of my hand, so you can see it's super lightweight, very fluid. Let's look at the coverage here together. Okay, so it kind of feels like a serum foundation. It's very light, almost watery. I don't know if that shade's gonna match me, to be honest. It's looking a little pale. But we're coming out of summer, so I'm hoping that it will match me. I don't know. I'm just gonna wipe half of it off, and then I want to show you guys what this looks like compared to Estee Lauder double wear. This is also 1 fluid ounce, so they're gonna be the same. And I actually bought a pump too, which I'm so excited about. This one is gonna be in the shade 4N1 Shell Beige. I actually already have this shade, but it's like super old. But I'm just gonna pump it here. There you go. And you can see the consistency of this one. It's not going down the back of my hand as quickly. It definitely is still pretty fluid, but as you can see here, that coverage is definitely full coverage. While this one is a light medium coverage in my opinion, this is like straight up full. You can't see my skin underneath that swatch right there. So the way that I want to apply this, since I know that it's going to be more sheer once applied, I think I want to get the most coverage that I can out of it, and I'm going to apply it with my fingertips and then use a brush, and then anything that I need to blend out further, I'm going to go ahead and use a sponge. I'm using this Juno & Co primer. What's this called? Moonshine Miracle Cream. I've been trying to use like moisturizers and creams as primers recently because I feel like they've been making my foundation go on a lot smoother, especially under the eyes. Guys, last week I tried out a product that like made me break out into kind of like a rash right here under my eyes. It was really weird. It had never happened to me before, and it was really itchy, kind of hurt a little. And I used the La Roche-Posay Cicaplast Balm, and it got rid of it so quickly. Like in 2 days or so, it was pretty much gone. And I'm using the Fenty Beauty Heat. So this is the plumping gloss in Hot Cherry. It kind of like burns just a little. It's not the worst I've ever felt, but you can definitely feel it plumping. Okay, so I'm gonna give this another shake really quickly before we apply it. I'm gonna go ahead and apply it with my fingertips, like I said. And just blend it out right here. Oh yeah, that is pale. Oh no. I'm gonna have to get a darker shade. But I feel like this will match me in a couple months when I'm like my most pale. It's definitely not gonna match my forehead though. We can bronze it up, it's fine. I'm so bad at picking my shades, y'all. Oh my gosh, look at my forehead. So I'm gonna use this double-sided IT Cosmetics brush. It's the Complexion Perfection brush. And I'm just going to dab that on and tap it in. This feels super lightweight. It feels like a moisturizer or like a tinted moisturizer. It's not super sticky that I can feel. It blends really nicely. It definitely does not match me. But we're not looking at the shade match right now. I'm just kind of focusing on the consistency of this. So if you're looking for something that's not gonna feel super heavy, if you're still wearing masks whenever you're out of your house or something, then this isn't going to feel like a heavy mask under your mask. It's not gonna feel heavy under your mask. So that's one pretty decent layer, like what I would typically do. So obviously you can still see some of my sunspots and like acne scars and freckles here, but it's definitely not as noticeable. On the skin, I don't see it clinging to any spots, and it seemed to blend in everywhere really nicely. I think what I'm gonna do is put a little bit more on my cheeks and see what kind of coverage we can get out of that. I would probably leave it here, like where I had it with that first layer, and then put concealer on, but I just wanna see how much coverage we can get before it starts feeling like foundation. I really like how watery this is, but at the same time, it still gives you coverage. I find that products or complexion products like this, when they have that consistency, the foundation starts to sheer out a lot. My under eyes have become more textured, I feel like, in the last couple months. It could just be the weather, it could be because I'm getting older, whatever it may be. It definitely has started to look more textured, but this isn't accentuating that at all. If anything, it's kind of making it look more blurred and seamless with the rest of my skin, like where my cheek starts, like from my under eyes to my cheeks. it looks very nice. Looking at my skin in the monitor, this is like very glowy, like super healthy looking skin. I feel like if this matched me 100% like perfect, it would look like I'm just wearing moisturizer and my skin is super healthy. That's the vibe I'm getting from this. My forehead looks really good. Every couple of days I use tretinoin on my skin because I'm working on getting rid of like my freckling and sun damage. And I tend to get dry around my eyebrows and right in my cheek area right here. But there's like nothing clinging. The foundation's not clinging to any spots that I can see. So that's really good. Okay, so next I'm gonna use the concealer. I have a feeling the concealer is gonna be darker than the foundation that I chose. I don't know why I did that. I don't know how I decided what shades to get, but here we are. The concealer is in 3N medium and it's a neutral undertone. So I'm gonna put this. Oh no, it's a lot darker than the foundation. Oh shoot. Okay, we're just gonna work with it. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna put it where I need it to be a little darker. This concealer is very moussey. Like it feels like more similar to Stay All Day, Stay in Place. I'm just gonna bring it down and maybe it'll blend itself in. It has really, really good coverage. I would say medium, maybe full coverage. I like the consistency. It's very moussey, but it also is really hydrating. I was a little afraid since it was a double wear concealer that it would be really drying or would just essentially dry too quickly, but that was really easy to blend out. All right, so this is what the complexion is looking like so far. Again, my skin looks really, really hydrated. It doesn't look cakey at all. I don't feel like the concealer broke anything up underneath. I wish that I chose a little bit of a lighter concealer and a little bit of a darker foundation, but it's fine. I mean, again, we're just gonna focus on the complexion here, and it all blended really seamlessly. Like my skin looks really nice, and I don't feel like I had to fuss or anything with the foundation. If you have very dry skin, you could essentially just go with this, and I feel like it would look super, super beautiful, but I tend to get oily in my T-zone these days, so I'm gonna make sure that I powder that so I don't get excessively oily. Now I'm gonna do the rest of my face. I recently picked up the Makeup by Mario Soft Sculpt Shaping Stick in medium dark. I've wanted this for a little while, so I'm excited to finally have it. Initially, I thought that I needed medium, but my Sephora didn't have medium, so I ended up just getting the next one up, which is medium dark, and I actually think it works really well with my skin tone. And it's really nice because it blends seamlessly into the skin, and I've blended it with a sponge, and I've also blended it with a brush like I am now, and it works really well both ways. I just tend to blend contour and bronzing sticks out with a brush anyways. It's like the easiest for me, I guess. Really making sure that I put some on my forehead since, you know, the shade that I chose was wrong. If you guys didn't see my last video, make sure to go watch it, the e.l.f. like try on video. I talked about how I got engaged. I got engaged this past month in September with my now fiance. Very excited. So we've been together for 5 years now, but essentially we've grown up together. So we've known each other for a very, very long time. I've already started wedding planning, and you know, it is stressful just getting everything, like all the timing and all the venues and the vendors and caterers and all that stuff. Like that's probably the hardest part, but making actual decisions, you know, themes and stuff or stuff like that, like that's pretty easy for me. My biggest thing that I want to make sure that we cover is photo and video. I definitely want a good photographer and videographer, and we already have that booked, so we're good on that front. We're gonna have our engagement photos in the upcoming week or 2 weeks, I think. So I'm excited for that. I'm not used to being in front of the camera like for photos anymore. I'm typically the one taking photos, so it's gonna be interesting beyond being on the other side. For blush, I'm gonna be using this Danessa Myricks Vision Flush in Ballet Slippers. I recently bought a couple of things from Danessa Myricks. I've never used products from her before I bought this recent purchase, and I really enjoy the products that I bought. I'm just gonna use this Luxie 522 brush, and this stuff is super pigmented, so go in with a light hand to start with and then just build it up for sure. It's so beautiful, my goodness. It's really easy to overdo it though with these products because this is also very lightweight, the consistency of it, but it's super pigmented. So definitely light hand. Oh, that looks so good with the complexion. It's kind of just melting in together. Going in with my little ghost sponge from Base Blue Cosmetics. I also talked about this in my last video, and I'm obsessed with this sponge. Like, I need to buy backups before Halloween comes around and before they stop selling it because, I mean, hello, look how cute. And to set my face, I'm gonna use the Laura Mercier powder and this Refer brush, the 05 brush. I'm going to just set my T-zone. See how that looks. I kind of like the way that this is looking just set in the T-zone. I might leave the rest of the face to kind of just do its thing for now. I don't have any powder bronzers or like blushes in front of me. I think that maybe I just want to stick to the creams because whenever I decided that I wanted to talk about this foundation, I felt like it was just like natural and radiant skin, and that always makes me think of like cream products and just liquid products. So I think I'm gonna stick with that, and I'm just really quickly gonna put some mascara on and do my brows, and I'll jump back on to give you guys like my final thoughts. All right, so makeup is all done. I'm just gonna set it with my Charlotte Tilbury setting spray really quickly. So my final thoughts on this foundation, I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of a close-up so you can see the skin. I think that my skin essentially looks very healthy. My skin looks perfected even though it's a sheer coverage. It looks like I'm having a good skin day. So you can still see my skin showing through past the foundation. I feel like it's not too dewy once I set the T-zone. I feel like the rest of the face, leaving that alone really helped make my skin just look super natural and very radiant. I just look awake almost. I don't really necessarily like fussing with anything day to day, especially because half the time when I am out and about, I'm wearing my mask for the most part. So I feel like anything that's too glam or overdone, just like, I don't know, it just isn't necessary right now for me. In case you guys were curious, I used the Danessa Myricks Ballet Slipper on my lips. I just dotted a little bit on and I blended it out with my finger. Everything together just looks so healthy, so natural. I don't see any spots of the foundation where I put the bronzer and the blush. I don't see anything looking splotchy. Like, it all went on super flawlessly right on top of that foundation. I like the concealer too. I feel like it's not sinking into any of my fine lines. I feel like, again, it's not emphasizing any of the texture that I have under my eyes, and I like it. So is it worth the price tag? This is $43, which is very expensive, I'm not gonna lie. And it is 1 ounce, so it's like the average amount, even though this tube does look a lot smaller. And I think it comes down to your preference of how you like your foundations and how often you're wearing those types of foundations. So for instance, these light to full coverage foundations I've been wearing every single day because I feel like they're easy, they make my skin look really nice, and they give me that kind of clean canvas that I'm looking for on a day-to-day basis. Versus wearing a full coverage foundation all the time, I don't do that. You know, like my special occasion foundations are like the full coverage ones. Like for instance, the Estee Lauder Double Wear foundation. I don't reach for this every single day anymore. Like, my preference in foundation definitely has changed since like 4 years ago when I always wore a full coverage foundation. This I'm gonna wear once or twice every other month or so. Whereas this is something that I would wear every day. So for me, I can justify paying more for a foundation that is light to medium coverage versus something that's full, because I know I'm gonna get the most use out of them, you know? Let me know in the comments down below if this is a foundation that you guys have been curious about, or if it's one that you've tried or you're planning on trying. I hope that you found this video helpful and you kind of got something out of my experience with it. I'll also leave in the description down below the rest of my thoughts. Like, I'm gonna wear this throughout the rest of the day. It is nighttime right now, so I'm only gonna wear it for another couple hours, but I do plan on wearing it for the next few days. I typically do with these try on like first impressions, then I'll keep using the products and just update the description for you guys. Again, if you guys are interested in any Estee Lauder products on Look Fantastic, then they're giving 25% off. I'll leave that code in the description box down below for you guys, so you can use that if you're interested in getting anything. But yeah, that's everything for this video. I hope that you guys found it helpful. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos like this one, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!